What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. Bill Burr doesn't appear to be on a good path lately. And yesterday in a podcast, he said one of the wokest, dumbest things that I've heard come out of his mouth in a long time. And this isn't even the most recent thing. I mean, it was just a few weeks ago when he was vehemently defending the wild mismanagement of what was going on in Los Angeles over the wildfires, calling anybody who criticized it like some basement dwelling incel or something like that. I wonder. Hear me out here. Is he about to get Me Too'd? Is there something that's going to come out about him? I know you think, Jeremy, dude, come on, man, that's crazy. Hear me out. There have been several other cases in the past where people have taken kind of this hard left turn in their life. I'm not saying Bill Burr wasn't liberal, but he's not liberal anymore. He's a leftist now. He married a black woman with TDS, and it has infected him. But the question is, look at the arc that Neil deGrasse Tyson had, right? Had never talked about gender being on a spectrum, had never talked about you're the gender that you wake up feeling like. He never talked about any of this nonsense. Then in 2018, he got Me Too'd by 4 different women. Poof. He keeps every one of his jobs, by the way, which at that time almost never happened. He kept every one of his jobs, but then for the next 10 years, he has spouted far leftist ideology and woke nonsense. It's just a theory. I have a theory that perhaps Bill Burr, somebody may have some dirt on Bill Burr that has led to this, because he has been getting absolutely shredded online. I wanted to pull up the original tweet because I think it's the response is obviously, that's what I react to on this channel. But like, the far left is going crazy over this. So Bill Burr said, and we're going to play the clip so you can hear it, said that billionaires should be put down like rabid dogs. Not millionaires, though. Let's just take a look. Let's see. Bill Burr net worth. Let's just take a look. Bill Burr is worth about $20 to $25 million. He's not part of the problem, right? It's just billionaires. Isn't it funny how these leftoids used to say millionaires and billionaires, millionaires and billionaires? Remember when Bernie Sanders, I think Bernie Sanders was kind of, the big modern voice for that. Millionaires and billionaires. Can I have $1, please? Now it's not millionaires anymore. No. Millionaires are fine. If you have $999 million in the bank, you're fine. But if you're a billionaire, you didn't earn it. I mean, if you look at some of these comments, Bill is worth 15 millions. This guy has millions. His wife has millions. This is just like when Bernie Sanders said the millionaires and billionaires should pay their fair share, till he himself became a millionaire, then changed the saying to billionaires should pay their fair share. If Bill Burr was a billionaire instead of a millionaire, he'd have a different opinion. But not the millionaires. Millionaires are okay. We can leave them alone. The far left is eating this stuff up. This is how you get, it isn't that long ago that Bill Burr said, free Luigi. He said it as a quote unquote joke, but he meant it. It was very obvious he meant it. Any idiot could see that he meant it. I'm sure he would say that to Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Kanye, all billionaires too. I don't know if Kanye still is, but certainly Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Oprah are. So what about them? Oh, no, not them. They're just different billionaires, right? So should comedians who have a net worth of 10 million? This guy is super woke. We all know what he means here. People are saying his wife is going to leave with his daughter if he doesn't toe the line. It's actually really hard to watch. I believe that. I believe that, you see, first they came for the billionaires and I said nothing because I was not a billionaire. Then they came for the millionaires. People are absolutely shredding him. Guys, hate on them, not me. I'm only worth 50 million. But the thing is, like, lots of people are backing this up, and you're like, people might say, well, what did he really say? Well, he did really say that. Here's the clip.
People that are struggling out there because of these billionaires.
Yeah, everybody that owns a business is a billionaire. Now, when he says these billionaires, maybe he's just talking about, I don't know. I'm sure he's not talking about Bill Gates, right? Or George Soros or Jay-Z or Beyonce or Oprah or Alex Soros so I'm not exactly sure which billionaires he's talking about. Is he just talking about Elon here?
And they got us all arguing liberal and conservative. We got to stop doing that. Like, I am so tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much fucking money in this country. And there's so much work being done, you know. And if you work a full fucking week at a job, you should be able to pay your fucking rent.
Most people can, bro. And by the way, if you're working a full-time job and you can't pay your rent, I'm not going to pretend like that doesn't exist, but most people end up getting a second job. And if his point is that sucks, we agree. For most of my life, when I was, 17, 18, 19, 20, until I was 30, I worked full-time. My wife worked full-time. I worked a second job at a pizza place, and she worked a second job at Walgreens on top of working full-time. So, yeah, that does suck, okay? But coming from somebody worth $20 million, I don't really care, bro. Like, who are you talking about? The problem is, you get with these podcasts with these celebrities. People are like, oh, he's a celebrity, so he must know what he's talking about. I want to tune in. Nobody asks people, which billionaires are you talking about? Are you talking about the shareholders of the board of directors at health insurance companies? Are you talking about Jeff Bezos? By the way, where I live, you can walk on at Amazon at almost $30 an hour in the warehouse. Now, that might not be the case by you. I understand. I'm just saying, hey, I live where I live, right? I live in southeastern Wisconsin, and you can walk on at Amazon at $50K a year probably with no high school diploma for sure, no college or no college degree for sure. Now, I know 50 grand ain't what it used to be. Sometimes we age. I think it's just all true. It's like when I was 18, 19, and I had a job, I was making almost $40,000 a year. I almost quit and didn't go to college because I was like, why do I need college? I have all the money I'll ever need. And now, obviously, 40 grand a year isn't anything. You would have to have a roommate in an apartment to make that work. But like, what billionaires, Bill Burr?
You shouldn't have to go out and get a fucking job and still be struggling. It's bad for the country. Because then the kids don't see their parents, and they're not getting the upbringing that they need. It's
wrong. When I grew up, both of my parents worked full-time, and my dad worked overtime, and I never went where I didn't see my parents. My mom worked first shift. My dad worked second shift. So I saw my mom and my dad every single day, at least for a little bit of time, and then I saw them all weekend long. And then when my dad would work overtime on Saturdays, I would see him all night on Saturday. I would see him before I went to work on Saturday. And that is what a nuclear family does. Mom and dad work. We had two, I had just one sister, and I saw my parents plenty. Okay. And that's the problem is nobody has families anymore. Nobody's working together anymore. Everyone's living beyond their means, right? We went, I want. We got taught, we people were programmed in the, 2010s, 2000s. Dad, just get what you want. You deserve it. Treat yourself. All that kind of stuff, right?
So these fucking billionaires.
Name one.
They need.
Are you talking the owner of the Boston Red Sox, Bill Burr? Is that who you're talking about? Your buddy?
Need to be put down. Like fucking rabid dogs.
Why?
They're like rabid with fucking greed, and just going out and just.
So when you're a millionaire, you earned it, and you're good. But when you're a billionaire, you didn't earn that. Now, far be it for me to defend billionaires. I couldn't probably name you one billionaire that I think is inherently good. Even Elon Musk, I have been critical of some of the things. Remember when he called Americans lazy? Everyone forgot about that, right? Him and Vivek Ramaswamy said, we all sit around and watch too much Saved by the Bell and we're lazy. I remember that, right? Pepperidge Farms remembers that. And Elon has different views on immigration than I do. Now, and I don't think he's a good father. I don't think you inherently can be a good father when you have a dozen kids from 10 different women. You don't spend any time with your kids. I would love to hear somebody tell me that Elon Musk is a good dad. Does he provide financially for his kids? Of course, I'm sure. But he doesn't spend any time with them except for X. That's it. That's the only kid you ever see him with. I suspect you could talk to any one of his kids. Particularly the trans one doesn't like him. Maybe if dad was around more, your kid wouldn't ended up trans. I don't know. Does that offend you? I don't. I mean, I'm just saying. You can criticize just about anybody, depending on kind of regardless of how much money they make. But this is Bill Burr again. Bill Burr has some words for self-proclaimed wildfire experts, not to mention most insurers. I mean, this guy's out here literally trying to radicalize people. Some idiot online knows how to manage the worst fire in LA, sitting in his underwear in his mom's basement, he said. Well, Bill, I think most people could tell you from about 3 years old, regardless of their training in firefighting or their IQ or their level of education, that you just need water. And California didn't have it. Yes, you need to understand a little bit more about how they weren't cleaning up their forest floors and how they were managing their water. Yeah, it gets a little more convoluted there, right? But for the most part, most people know you need water. Bill Burr is the biggest sellout loser out there. He's not defending the little man. That his whole shtick was, I'm one of you guys, but he isn't. He hasn't been in a long time. I wrote Bill Burr is worth nearly $20 million. Maybe sit this one out. You stopped representing the working class a long time ago. So, yeah, Bill Burr is just another lost to the woke mind virus. See you later. I won't miss you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.